automated. So I want all employees to be able to do that, okay? We do a lot of training, okay? So I want to look at a program that will help me to arrange the different types of trainings that we do. So I don't have to have a phone call from people saying, I'm scheduled to do this training, but I don't know where to go, where it is, how many hours it is, blah, 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 blah. Well, if I have a software program that will track all of employee trainings and what is needed, all they need to do is go onto the little smartphones and look it up. And that's that. So I cut down this time here in order to focus on other things, such as onboarding processes, developing retention strategies, developing training. That takes a long time. I have a friend who does training, and she does strategic vision training and things like that. And she'll work for months on a training with a group of people. And it's a long process. It doesn't happen overnight. But you know, even if you come into a new job and you are watching videos or whatever, you have to evaluate all those videos. You have to figure out, are people going to have time to do this? A whole bunch of stuff. Okay? So I've gone to HR, and now I have a better idea about what is involved in the software. Now remember, I only have 3 months. Okay? So I might find that my 3 months is not sufficient because I really need to investigate these software applications down to the nitty-gritty, meaning whether or not they're going to meet the needs that I have. That means I probably have to meet with the software people to really understand what it is that they do and whether or not the software might be more that I can adapt the software appropriately to the company I work for, or I might have to you know, go for a software that's more expensive, but it's adaptable over time. Okay? So I now have a list of tasks that I have to go through. So I have a task list. Now, I'm the head of HR, I'm the head of operations or IT technology, and I probably have staff who I'm going to farm this stuff out to look at, okay? So let's say there are 10 different tasks, okay? And I have 3 different people working on these 10 tasks. Okay? And I need to have HR involved over here, and I need to have another department involved over here, and let's say I have department C over here. Okay? Because they're all going to be affected by this change. Okay? So I have my tasks here. I have my 3 different people in my department. I have 3 different departments over here. Has anybody ever heard of what a dependency is? Anybody know what a dependency is? Anybody have children? You have dependents. They are dependent upon you for their, you know.
Yeah, on taxes, I think.
Correct, okay, but you know, you feed them, you clothe them, you make sure they get to school, you make sure no harm comes to them, they're your dependent. What happens when your child falls down at school and you're at school, who do they call? You, right? Okay. What happens? You have to drop everything that you're doing to go to your child to make sure that your child is okay, and then take care of your child, whether it be, okay, it's more serious than I thought, I have to take my child to the hospital or whatever it is. Or I have to take my child home, I now can't go to my classes, I can't go to work because I have to stay with my child, right? They are your dependent, okay? So your dependent can disrupt your entire day in a nanosecond, right? I hope it doesn't happen, but you have children, guess what? That's what happens with children, okay? So think about that in terms of of what's going on here. I need information from 3 different departments, plus I need information if I could spell information from 5 software vendors. But I can't get the information from the software vendors until I get the information from these people. And these people are not communicating with me. I've sent them emails, I phoned them, they just have blown me off. They're busy. They have other things to do. They're not concerned about this software program. It's not really in their frame of mind, okay? So I now have to get my boss involved to get in touch with them to say, please talk to these people because we only have 3 months to make this happen. So dependence or dependencies are those things that you're depending on other people to get you information. If they do not get you information in a timely fashion, can set you back, which then sets back other people, which then sets back other people, and then basically your whole project gets delayed. Okay?
Is that meant to be?
Is that meant to be? That's just typically the human nature, to tell you honestly.
Are you like?
Pardon?
I kind of feel like you're referencing something in the class.
No, I'm not referencing anything in the class. Please, I do not have any ulterior motives here or anything like this, okay? You can take it any way you want, but I'm not referencing that in the class here. This is not about this class. I mean, this is not related to anything you have done or haven't done, okay? So, essentially really what is happening here is I'm dependent upon other people for information. In order for me to get that information, I have to somehow figure out how to cajole these people to get me that information in a timely fashion. If I don't get that information, my whole time frame gets mixed, okay? If I'm working on a project, let's say, that is dependent upon materials, like a building, and I contact the concrete people, and they tell me that it's going to be a 3-month delay before we can get you concrete, what happens to the rest of my building? It's 3 months delayed because I can't do anything until I get the concrete poured.